And what's up? Welcome in. It is GC Live Wednesday episode of the show. Of course, we are always brought to you by our good friend Clint Hammond of the Mortgage Network, helps make the show possible. And as promised, we got a very special guest today. He is South Carolina quarterback commit Braden Davis. Made it official a couple of weeks ago and became a South Carolina commit. Braden, appreciate you joining us. Appreciate you taking the time, man. How you got to complete the recruiting process, so. How you doing today? How has the committed life been for you, man?
It's good. It's a big weight off my shoulders. I'm glad to be focused on just one place, just getting everything ready for when I get there in January.
So Braden, very unique experience for you, probably compared to anybody else that's ever been through the recruiting process. No visits allowed for like the last 15 months or so. And you being a quarterback, it seems like quarterbacks always commit a little bit earlier maybe than other positions as well. So what was that like for you, man, as you sort of had to take it upon yourself? I know you took a lot of these like self-guided tours, went around and saw some campuses and saw the cities with your family. So can you maybe take us through what that was like and how you went through that process of trying to learn as much and see as much while having to sort of do it just, on your own and of course with your family and coaches?
Yeah, I mean, it was really difficult with not being able to do everything in person because in a normal year, I mean, everything would kind of be done for you. I mean, coaches would be presenting things for you when you're on campus, kind of informing you about the school. But my process, you kind of had to do things on your own. You had to set up, the Zoom calls and do all that type of deal to where you can get all the information that you can for any school that you're interested in. So I really had to exhaust that process, and it really helped for me because I had, two people at South Carolina that I know and trust, and they were able to tell me more things more information that I would have needed that, I wouldn't have been able to get going in person and doing things like that.
Yeah, Braden. So that's where I was going to go next. The two people you mentioned, I guess you're referring to Marshawn Lloyd, Debo Williams, a couple Delaware guys, also already on the roster for South Carolina. Take us back to the beginning of the process because it seems like it started coming together fairly quickly, right, between you and South Carolina. How did it start out as far as contact being made with you and the staff? And then how did things sort of grow from there to when it became more serious with South Carolina?
Yeah, so exactly. I'm not exactly sure how everything began. All right, can you still hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not exactly sure how everything. So it was really, I believe Marshawn kind of mentioned me to the coaching staff. Mentioned that I was a Delaware guy. That he kind of knew what I was about and knew what I could do, and that I would be a good fit for South Carolina. And then the coaches kind of took that and reached out to me and. We kind of just built a relationship, several phone calls. I actually have known Coach Satterfield for a while. Actually, he recruited my brother when he was at Tennessee Tech. And so, I mean, yeah, I just did that type of stuff. And they were just able to help me in those ways.
So Braden, when you actually made the decision here a couple of weeks ago, I guess going into your announcement, How long before you actually made the announcement did you sort of know it was South Carolina? I know some guys will tell you, I made it like 5 minutes before I went live on Instagram or whatever. Some guys sort of already know.
So
when did you actually know and what went into that, man?
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. So when they gave me my offer, I could just kind of tell the energy that the staff felt. I mean, nobody on the staff knew that I was going to get an offer. Coach Beamer just, he just felt comfortable with me and decided to give me the offer on the spot. And, I just felt the energy and could just tell that they were kind of different in the way that they wanted to like recruit me and stuff like that. So Coach Satterfield, for instance, he didn't like sell any like recruiting hype to me. It was just like, this is what South Carolina is. This is what we do. This is what we're going to do. This is proof that we're going to do it. And so I just really was able to trust that and just take his word and just believe in it. But to answer your question, sorry, I kind of knew about I guess when I got the offer, But I never told anybody. Like my family didn't know until I put the hat on.
So when you were going on these Zoom calls, these virtual visits, on South Carolina specifically, and when you took the self-guided tour there to Columbia, what all did you see? I mean, walk us through sort of a virtual visit at South Carolina, what the staff showed you, why you felt it stood out, and in person too, when you were able. I know it wasn't the same as a real visit, but what all you got to see that impressed you?
Right. So I mean, I've taken I did the virtual part, and really they just show you like the football facilities, kind of the stadium, kind of the campus. They can't really show you too much, just obviously for it being through Zoom or whatnot. But in person, I was able to kind of go and see those things in real life, and I was able to go to like see where my classes would be, see where the dorms would be, see where the football facilities and everything like that would be, and just kind of get a feel for everything. Like I got a good feel for the type of city that Columbia is. Yeah, it just reminded me of kind of where I grew up, which is kind of a bonus for me.
Braden, so I know when it comes to quarterback recruiting, everybody sort of, I'd assume, wants to know, how am I going to be used? What's this scheme going to be? I'm sure you and Coach Satt talked some about that. I think when I talked to you right after that first Zoom, when they offered you, you sort of said, I'm a pro style guy, but I can run it as well. What was the discussion with you and Coach Satt as y'all got into a little more detail just about how he envisions their scheme, how he envisions you fitting into that, and just specifically how you're going to be used when you get to South Carolina?
Yeah. So, so we've gone on and we've watched some football, we've watched some tape, and really he's explained kind of what they do, and it's really pro style system, which meaning they do a lot. They have a lot of variety in their offense. They can go really spread out, kind of empty backfield, or they can go really tight, like 3 tight ends and just pounding the ball. I feel like me as a pro style type of quarterback, and I can run as well. So I feel like I'd be a great fit because I can do those type of things, throwing the ball downfield, reading defenses, and RPO breaking teams down with my legs as well.
Braden, we had a chance to talk with your head coach there at Middletown and had great things to say about you. But one thing that you sort of mentioned was just your progression from, freshman season when you guys had an all-state quarterback, right, who was, I guess, a senior at that time. So you were able to sort of learn the offense and things like that. And then you go from your sophomore year, your junior year, you missed a lot of time, right? So you're still relatively inexperienced, right, as a quarterback. But how have you seen your game grow? Like, what are the things? I know you train with a private quarterback trainer, for instance. What things have you really been working on going into this season, and how have you seen your game progress since you were, say, a high school freshman?
Yeah, so I would say, obviously, I've worked with a quarterback coach, working on fundamentals and everything like that. Just been progressing, just tightening things up, making myself more accurate. That's definitely improved from my freshman year. But even more than that, I would just say my mental side of things. I feel like I've definitely matured. I'm able to read defenses, identify coverages, blitzes, defensive fronts, call protection, stuff like that. So I mean, Coach Tony, me and Coach Tony, we've done a lot of that stuff. So I mean, I feel like regardless of not having much experience, I feel like my mentality and matched with my ability that my accuracy and everything like that, is just gonna come together once I can get on the field and display it.
Braden, you mentioned it's kind of a weight off your shoulders now, man. You're able to wear the Carolina shirt out in public and sort of represent for the class now. A lot of the quarterbacks in South Carolina's recent past sort of take it on themselves now to kind of try and recruit the class, maybe get to know some guys who might be coming in with you. What has been the next step for you? What is the next step through these next, 9 months or so, as far as maybe talking to some other guys, maybe getting involved with some other South Carolina targets?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's one of the main priorities. I mean, you want to get things going, get things on the right track. You got to get the guys with you to come and make it happen. So definitely reaching out to those guys, trying to get them, to set official visits. I'll be coming down on, I think it's the 25th, June 25th. Coming for my official visit weekend. Definitely trying to get guys there. I'll actually be coming down for another weekend doing camps and stuff like that. So yeah, obviously we're just trying to get best players, best type of guys that we can, and get this program rolling.
So, Braden, you mentioned the June 25th weekend, and obviously camp's going to be a big time. But with recruiting reopening, a lot of guys scheduled to be in already. And on that weekend you mentioned, I don't know if you've gotten to know a lot of the guys specifically, but just sort of off the top of my head, Oscar Delp, the tight end from Georgia, Addison Copeland from New York, a receiver planning on being there. Any specific guys that you can tell us a little? You don't have to give too much away about the conversations, but any specific guys that you've chatted with, or has it been more generalized of trying to hit some guys up?
You're definitely on the right track with those guys. Them for sure. Also, we're Antonio Williams is pretty interested. He's put us in there in his top schools. I'm not sure how many it was. But other than that, we're just trying to get other guys who are offered and get them committed, whoever we can.
So you mentioned maybe coming down for camp as well. Have y'all decided what dates you might travel down to throw with the coaches some, or do you not know that yet?
Yeah, we have. So it's going to be the week. I believe it's the week before the 25th.
Okay.
It's going to be like a O-line camp, and then like a skills camp after that, like 3 days.
Okay, I got you. So is your team coming down for that? Are y'all going to be part of the team camp 7-on-7 thing, or is that more just you?
No, I think it's just going to be me.
Okay, I got you. And along those same lines, you mentioned obviously recruiting some guys. Give us a little peek, man. What has your pitch been? Like, are you giving them the hard sell? Are you more giving them like the laid back sell? What do you tell them coming as a prospect who's committed to South Carolina, has been through the process? What insight are you going to give these other kids, man?
Yeah, so, with me going through the process, I can kind of relate to what somebody else might be going through. So I don't try to pressure anybody to come to South Carolina, like this is what you need to do. But I definitely, present to them what made me feel comfortable with coming to South Carolina. And, I honestly feel like I really exhausted the process. And, the things that I was thinking of, maybe I can use those to influence them to make a decision as well.
Taking it back to the field, obviously quarterback's such an important position. That's why it gets so much attention in recruiting and on the field. Something else I talked with your coach about, your leadership ability, and he mentioned you're able to sort of build relationships, understand how to push certain guys, when to back off others. Tell us a little bit about Braden Davis as a leader, on the field, off the field, and your presence in the locker room, what you're going to bring to Columbia.
Yeah, so I'm definitely a guy who just leads by example. I feel like, that's kind of how I was kind of taught to lead, coming honestly through Middletown High School. We've had older guys who just, we were able to watch them and see what they do. And we just grew up and we try to do the same thing. So I just lead by example. Guys tend to follow me. I stick out as a leader because I just work hard, and everybody sees that and sees that I'm really about what I do.
Braden, last couple of things here for me, man. I know we got some people in the chat here cheering you on, and maybe a couple of questions here. Somebody wanted to know, what are you at right now weight wise? And I know, you're a tall kid, big frame. Is there sort of a goal as far as what you ultimately want to play at weight wise, I think?
Yeah. So I haven't been trying to put on too much weight. I've just been trying to stay fast right now. I'm running I ran a 4.63 laser 40 and a 4.13 shuttle. So I'm about 195 to 200. In the season, I would hope to play around like 210 to 215 this year. Mm-hmm. And then in college, I'll be wherever they need me to be at.
Braden, last thing I had for you, man, because I was going to sort of project it forward to, this season a little bit and ask you about some of your goals. But again, going back to the conversation I had with your coach and you mentioning your speed prompted this. He actually said that he wants to see you run a little bit more this year.
Yep.
So are you going to, show off the legs a little bit more, whether that's built into the offense, or are you going to be looking to run a little bit more, making big plays on the ground?
Oh yeah. I've been that's definitely a goal of mine. I want to, kind of expand my ability and being able to hurt defenses. I feel like that's definitely an area I've been able to improve on, and I feel like I've gotten to a position where I'm gonna have some fun this year.
Braden, man, dude, we appreciate the time. We really do. I know you're a busy guy. Definitely a great representative for your state, for your school there, man. And just in closing, do you have any final thoughts, any message maybe to the Gamecock fans that are watching this, or maybe even recruits out there that are watching this, man?
I would say South Carolina is just different. It's just different. I can tell. I haven't. I'm kind of new to everything South Carolina, but from what I know, everything's been positive. Everything's been great, and I'm just excited to get ready, get down there and start winning national championships.
There it is. That's Gamecock commit Braden Davis from Middletown, Delaware. Braden, we appreciate it, man. You enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Braden. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Braden.